All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Legitimate Enterprises. After some personal fires I had to put out last week, and then some technical difficulties right before we started here, we are here today minus one Jix Cho. Unfortunately, our uh, ever ever constant Pantoran smuggler is not here today, unfortunately. So, real quick, let's go around and just introduce everyone real quick and remind the good people of the internet whomst we are playing on this day. So we're gonna go ahead and start with Aaron. Who are you? Who are you playing? And why are you here? Why are you in my stream?
I am. I don't know why I'm here.
Yes.
How did you get in here? My name is Duncan Hunter. I also go by Too Much Thought, and I'm playing Aaron Gunner, the grizzled bounty hunter, human, male guy.
Space Marine.
Galactic Standard Boy.
Galactic Standard Boy, indeed.
And then let's go to Exul. Who are you and who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Necro, and I'm playing Exil, the Zabrak sharpshooter.
And Echo, who are you and who are you playing?
Hey, I'm JL Holloway from Holloway's Hideaway. I am playing Tabri Echo Vetna, the Shadra fan mechanic.
And Vrel, who are you and who are you playing?
I'm Kelsey, I also go by Calcifer Rising, and I'm playing Varel Trin, the Trandoshan Doctor. Which is not at all contradictory, stop making fun of me.
All right. And if we would like to go ahead and roll some Destiny dice.
Hell yeah.
Would be just dandy. And it appears as though my Fantasy Grounds client is freaking out. So let me restart it here real quick. See,
Whoa.
we're just having technical difficulties today, friends. Look,
It's
there's
fine.
Minox in the hyperdrive. All right, this is what happens.
I'm gonna change my name in Fantasy Grounds to Varel so people know it's Varel.
You can see the rolls a little better.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that.
Yes, for our handy dandy dice rolling today, we are using Fantasy Grounds with the Edge of the Empire expansion pack made by Trenlo over on the Fantasy Grounds forum. It's really cool, so please, if you use a virtual tabletop, check that out. It works really, really well.
It definitely does.
When it works.
It works.
The pack works really, really well. I'm not sure what's going on with Fantasy Grounds.
It's coming, it's coming. Just let it load.
Yeah. I suppose in the meantime, I can go ahead and roll for obligation.
Oh no.
Because I've got a dice rolling app on my phone. Because we live in the future. D100. All right.
Oh, there we go. It's up.
Is it working? Can I click on things? I cannot clicky on things. It's not responding for me. This is this is excellent. Oh, wait. Is it? Can I click?
We need to break out the physical dice.
We might honestly have to break out the physical dice today.
I don't have physical dice.
Oh no. Wait.
Oh, there. I rolled it.
Okay.
You can have
Nice.
some of mine.
There we go.
Mine's still showing connecting.
All
Alright,
right.
well, it'll get there.
It's
You
it's
just
getting there.
connected, Necro.
Anyway.
Not in on my screen.
Well,
Mine
You're
says my
getting there.
username is already taken, which is weird. Oh, it's the real Aaron Gunner.
There I am.
Anyway.
that's the next episode.
Yeah. This is episode 2, Footprints in the Mucous. So Echo, if you would like to go ahead and recap what happened last time for our excellent people here in Internet Land.
All right. Echo was summoned by the captain of the ship. I cannot remember his name. Where was that? It was Captain Barrack Indu. And there was some complications in the engine room as the hyperdrive had gone out. And Captain Indu asked Echo to get a team together and he went first to his favorite Trandoshan doctor, who always fixes all his little boo-boos. And they together went and picked up Gunner and Exel and Jix and proceeded down to the engine room to reports of Minox. And then turned out instead that it was just one really big Minox that tried to eat Echo. So he used the rest of the party as a human shield, naturally. We traced it down into the engine room, and I believe it was Gunner's idea to do the helium grenades. I might be wrong.
It was my idea to do helium. The grenades were specifically, I think, somebody else.
It was
Excel?
my idea, I think, yeah.
Oh, okay.
With the
Yes.
grenades, yeah.
We flushed it out and they killed it. Then we found out that the cooling system for the hyperdrive had been sabotaged. And along with that, somebody had brought the Minoc into the ship. So Echo proceeded to tell everybody that, went to tell his boss that it was sabotage, while the captain told the rest of the party to not tell anybody. And then let's see. Jix and Gunner went to security and pulled the footage, which Gunner accidentally deleted. And I believe that's where we left off. Did I forget anything?
Yeah, no, we left off on disaster, that sounds right.
Yeah, left off on disaster. If there is never a better phrase for any RPG party, it is. I don't think it exists. Left off on disaster, and that is where we find ourselves.
It looks like the Destiny dice should be good.
Yeah,
Just
it
need
looks
to
like
get the rest of the rolls.
looks like the client's working.
Yeah.
So if we would like to go ahead and roll some more Destiny dice. All right, one dark side. Is the internet back on for good old Aaron? I think it is. The internet, it's working. I love it.
Sort of.
Sort of, somewhat.
Maybe.
Tentatively.
He returns.
All right.
Sorry, I disconnected, so I had to go fix that.
No worries.
You're back.
You're,
Now you can roll a Destiny dice.
you're back
Maybe.
from outer
Maybe.
space.
Oh, did our strain reset?
Your strain has not reset. No.
Okay.
You're still rocking. Okay. I mean, a 4 light side, 2 dark side pool is pretty good. So,
What was obligation?
obligation did not trigger. I rolled.
Oh.
I rolled a 98.
Wow.
So
Nice.
we are not triggering any obligation today. For those of you tuning in who might not know, obligation is a narrative mechanic in this game, Edge of the Empire by Fantasy Flight Games, that allows for a character's backstory to come into play on a random basis. But fortunately today, or unfortunately today, who knows?
Hey, I'll take my straight and threshold.
Yeah,
being normal.
that has not triggered or procced, as we say in the gaming world, on anyone. Okay, so here's what you all have to do. You have to find this. Here's Captain Ondu's orders. You have to find the saboteur. You have to probably apprehend them too. You know that the saboteur is of near human size and build, and you didn't get a good look at their face. So that can pretty much rule out like 8 other people on the crew. It rules out Echo. It rules out Vrel. It rules out Vaok, who's the Wookiee mistress at arms on the ship.
It ruled out pretty much all of engineering, didn't it?
Yeah, the entire
Yeah.
engineering. We're all safe.
It rules out engineering because the other engineering is an Ugnaught, who are the like short, paunchy pig people, and a Verpine, named Grease, who Verpine are weird bug people, and I love them very much. So, yeah. You guys have, or you all basically have access to most of the ship. The only part of the order is just kind of keep it on the DL, as the current cover story is trying to we're still trying to fix the hyperdrive. It's still broken. It's technically operational. Y'all can go, but Saboteur doesn't need to know that.
So, with the security feed erased, our primary lead has kind of been run aground.
It didn't really show us much, but
yeah, I mean, it gave us, at least we can rule out some people, as we said, so that's good. That shows us who we can trust.
all right, Mike. As a first step, I'd like to go to that guy whose data pad I smashed last time.
Okay.
Just as a ballpark, because Aaron exists in this world, and you probably know it. How much does a new data pad screen cut? Like, how much does a repair cost?
I'm gonna bully that guy anymore.
I mean, Grease could probably fix it, and it's probably like 40 credits to get it replaced.
Then I give him 40 credits and say, sorry, I was in a really bad mood. Yeah, sorry. What was his name again? Sorry, I lost my notes between the 2 weeks.
His name was Brunel.
Sorry about that, Brunel. Just in a bit of a bad mood earlier. Just got slimed by a fucking giant Minoc.
It's like holding it
Sorry,
away.
A drucking giant Minoc.
There you go. Star Wars swears only.
Star Wars swears only. Sorry. So, anyways, here's 40 credits, and I'm sorry.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, hope you have a good day. And then I awkwardly leave.
Okay. You feel good about righting any wrongs that you may have committed. Go ahead and just recover a strain, Aaron.
Aw.
Cool.
A little bit of mental tax gone.
Exactly. A small weight has been lifted off your shoulder.
If only I could pay for all my sins.
That was surprisingly endearing.
So yeah, like I said, you have full access of the ship, and to any records that may pertain is also the thing. So if you go to Captain Undo and say, "Hey, I need to see this," he'll ask you why, and if he thinks it's relevant to the investigation, then he'll probably give you access to these records.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I think that we should check out shipping.
Shipping, okay. So you want to go get a full cargo manifest? Because that's something you can do, because while the Emperor Leopold is primarily a pirate hunting vessel, it just kind of putts. It's not a fast ship, so it just kind of putts between ports while it patrols its sector, and so it takes on shipping as a side gig.
Yeah, I mean, the Minoc came in that weird, unmarked kind of crate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It didn't have any kind of signs on it, but I feel like maybe there's something in the shipping manifest that mentions it and where it came from and who it came from and why it came from.
Why it came from. The most important of the questions.
Where did it come from?
Where did it
Where
go?
did it go?
Well, it went to hell. That's where it went. Because it blew up.
Sure.
It was not having a fun time.
It could have gone to heaven. Maybe it was a very good by Minoc standards.
Who knows? Okay, yeah. So if you have the shipping manifest, there's no check needed to get it. It's something that you could easily, pull out of the memory cores of the ship. Go ahead and just roll me. Roll me an easy. Yeah, let's do an easy knowledge outer rim check with a setback.
Sure thing. Let's see. My knowledge outer rim is 3 green. Easy is 1 purple.
Easy is 1 purple and a setback.
Cool.
All right, 2 successes. Very nice.
Yay.
So yeah, there's there's a lot of shipping. It's mostly just like starch, nutritional powder. Like it's it's like boring bulk goods.
Just like meticulously scrolling through every little listicle and like the list, and like I'm kind of imagining like Aaron's bored as hell because he seems like he'd have no patience for this shit. By the way, he destroyed the drive by accident.
I mean, that was because of a sneeze. Aaron doesn't regularly sneeze. It's not really a pastime of his. As long as he doesn't sneeze, he really does enjoy investigation. He's not.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Pretty patient guy. He's in a better mood. He was in a pretty bad mood after the sneeze.
My not goo will do that to anyone.
Yeah. He had a
Mine goo is a natural irritant.
He had a space Snickers.
A space
Snickers. I did feel irritated after we interacted with the Minoc, so a natural irritant.
Yeah, so you're picking through the cargo manifest, and there's one thing in particular that Vrel manages to find, and it is 1x live specimen from Barut's big game on Ellerud. And Ellerud is the planet you came from. That's the planet y'all are going away from.
All right. Well, we know where it came from. Unfortunately, it's not exactly like we have the option to go back to Ellerud and question, like, who bought this?
Especially since the ship's technically not moving.
Yeah.
It's from a game, I'm assuming, provider. I don't know what the correct term for that would be, but
Barut's big game and exotic pets.
Probably a poacher.
Pet store owner.
Pet store, heavy quotation marks.
A backyard breeder. So it may have had like a legitimate reason for being shipped and not to be put next to and subsequently wreak havoc on our ship.
That seems unlikely.
Also, on the shipping manifest, Vrel, you noticed that there is no actual delivery address. It was just put on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
No. It did say on the crate, though, that it was supposed to be shipped to the next planet. So it did have... If you were buying a illegitimate, poached giant Minoc, would you give an address?
I was trying to buy... No.
So those are the things that you can glean from the Minoc, at least, or about the Minoc from the shipping manifest.
Yeah.
So it was placed on the ship, and it is in the manifest.
Yeah, I'm just like, is there like, who handles the shipping manifest? Is it like automated, or is there someone who like checks off things, and could we go talk to them, and do they have any kind of clue?
Yeah, actually, that would be... Let me pull up my list of names here. Somewhere. It's somewhere. That would be first mate... What's his face? Hold on. Names are difficult.
They are difficult.
Yes. Okay, yeah, that would be first mate Rosnick is usually in charge of overseeing cargo and like making sure it's properly stored and secured. It's kind of his job.
Well, it looks like we have some questioning to do.
Yes, he's easy enough to find. I mean, he's usually either hanging out in the bridge with the rest of the crew, or he's hanging out in the cargo bay, which is where Exil was working before. And in this particular instance, you find him in the cargo bay. He's, just battening down some straps.
Anyone asked among us gas grenades when it wasn't me.
I was saying, among us, do you think Exil's had the most interaction with him before? Because maybe Exil should be the one to approach.
Yeah. Probably. I mean, that was your job, Exil, on the ship, right? Mostly as a strapping down cargo.
If we're not in a fight, I'm doing whatever odd jobs around the ship need done.
Yeah, so he's a first mate Rosnick. He's a gran for those like 3-eyed dudes. They have 3 eyes, like boop boop boop, and then the big sticky up ears. They look like cows with 3 eyes, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's a gran, and he turns as he like finishes tightening a strap. He turns and looks. Is everyone walking up on this guy, or is it just Exul?
I would have gone with him.
Okay. So we have Exil and Aaron.
Did we before this discuss like specific questions we wanted to ask, or are we just going in with? I wanted to know about this.
Yeah, we could all approach. Shipment. I was just figuring that Exil might want to be the one to speak since Exil knows him, so it'll seem less like being accosted by a bunch of aggressive strangers. Look, Vrel is aware that he comes off as painfully intimidating, and that's useful, but maybe not here.
Echo would probably just be lingering behind.
Easy to do. We're all so much taller than you.
Yes.
Yeah, so Exil will go up and just kind of... Sir, we have a quick question about something, if you don't mind, if you're not busy.
He turns and looks at Exil and says, well, no, I'm just working on things around here. What can I do for you?
We were looking for any kind of information you might recall on, and I'm assuming I have like a data pad with the information for that. Mm-hmm. On this particular shipment that we took on back on Elrude.
His 2 lower eyes squint, and the third one like opens wider as he leans in closer to look at the data pad. I don't recall seeing anything like that. But if it's on the manifest, is there a reason that you're looking for a live specimen? We don't usually ship those, but sometimes they come through.
We have reasons to suspect that it was used as part of a sabotage attempt.
Sabotage? That's not... Who do you think...
Thought we weren't supposed to talk about that, guys.
Oh, right, we weren't. Sorry. Well, Rel's impatient.
You guys told me not to talk about it.
It's fine.
And that was the right thing to do.
That was the
wrong.
That was the wrong thing to do. That was me forgetting as a player, but I'm rolling with it.
It like looks around kind of like nervously.
Sorry, we didn't mean sabotage. We meant it was slip of the tongue there. We don't want to start anything. It was a malfunction.
The I'm sure you've heard about the troubles we've been having with the ship's engines and the pest control. We think it might have been this shipment. In fact, we're pretty sure.
I don't think any of us cleaned ourselves, so like, I look at the
Covered.
Minoc all over me.
Yeah.
I'm like, we have strong evidence to believe that the Minoc is really...
Strong evidence, just covered in stoop.
Still picking
Also,
goo from fur.
I'm now absolutely adding to my character trait that Brell is not good at lying.
Rosnick pulls out his own data pad, punches in some credentials to start looking at like a higher view of the shipping manifest, and he looks at it and goes, "That's odd. I never signed for this one." And he kind of like he turns it around and he taps on like the top entry, and there's very clearly a signature, and then he taps on the entry below it and there's very clearly another signature, and he wears a heavy frown.
Who did sign for it then?
No one. And he taps on it and there's no signature, and he says, "No cargo is supposed to be unsecured without my signature." Actually, you were working in the cargo bay when we left Elerud, right?
I believe so.
Who else was working in the cargo bay? And he like flips through the shift sheet, saying like, okay, who's working here, who's working where, who's working when, and he pulls out 3 names from the group. Jace Kellor, another crewman. Syed Mestos. And
Scribbles.
Yeah. And Zoth Nandana. Or the
Can
3.
we have these names in the important characters chat?
I can drop them in there real quick.
And the test to see how well I spelled them.
You can never tell.
Yes. And all these names would resonate with you guys. I mean, you would at least know of them, being as though it's like a 60-person crew on the ship. So you would at least, these names would register with everyone.
Are any of them known hunters?
Ooh, make me a hard knowledge lore check, Echo. So you see what
hard's 3.
Hardest 3 purples, yeah.
I'm so glad Fantasy Ground labels the different kinds of dice.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Any setbacks?
No setbacks. But this is pretty obscure knowledge about some people you're probably not too familiar with. So
nice.
Oh, 2 successes.
Nice.
Okay. Let's see. Let me finish getting the names there.
Lore seems like a weird skill.
Give me the deep lore on these characters.
Ancient galactic knowledge about this person.
Yes.
This person's hobbies.
I find that the knowledge skills are criminally underused, so I try my best to make sure that they're at least important enough.
Need to learn? I have a blaster.
That's why I'm playing the brainy little one.
Yeah, really.
We need some brains.
There you go. Yeah, so you know that Syed and Zoth mostly keep to themselves. Um, but Jace, as kind of like, he's not exactly part of the security forces, but he helps out in the fight. He doesn't talk much about hunting, but you do know that on his bunk he has like a nice pelt of something, and he carries a large talon on a necklace that he likes to show off to people.
Wait, which one did you say that was?
Jace Kellor. He's a human.
Any of these people have any like, we're all kind of shady, we're all kind of, are any of these people troublemakers? As a member of the security forces, I feel like I know who the troublemakers on the ship are.
The actual troublemakers. Jace got into a fight like last month, but that's because he was super drunk on shore leave.
Got it.
And came back and found that someone was going through his footlocker. But that's really about it when it comes to the extent of trouble. Everyone's shady. Everyone has their own past on this ship, but the fact that this whole ship might just fall apart at any moment kind of keeps everyone together. As everyone might not be friends, but there's at least a sense of community of, hey, let's not let this ship fall apart.
Well, we're on it.
Agreed.
So, none of them are particular troublemakers, but out of the three other people who are working in cargo that day, there are Jace is the one who's the biggest hunter of them.
Any of them familiar? This is a long shot.
Okay.
Any of them familiar with explosives that we know of?
Ooh, Aaron, you can go ahead and make me a hard knowledge lore check, or you might be able to go get a. If you want to do a more social side of things, you could go talk to Captain Undo and ask him about getting like personnel records.
I think it would make more sense to look into personnel records than just think really hard. So
I'm
gonna go, after this conversation, I'm gonna go do that.
Okay. So
while we're just sort of standing blankly analyzing things in front of this first mate,
processing,
in the menu.
Yes. So Rosnick, kind of points you the direction. He's like, those are the other three people who were working in cargo the day that they loaded up all of their cargo on Elarud. So that is the next direction to go, is to the personnel files. Again, you find Captain Undo. He's giving orders in the bridge. I mean, and by the bridge, it's not much larger than any other cockpit in a freighter, but he's just telling, like, everyone stay on course, keep eyes out. Have been reports of pirates in the area, making sure scanners, captain-y stuff as you do.
Got it.
And the door, pressurized door that doesn't fully open all the way, and then slowly just kind of drifts into its holding area. And he turns around and he looks at Aaron and says, "Mr. Gunner, what can I do for you?"
A second of your time, Captain, and I sort of gesture over to the side. I want to go away from any of the crew members.
Yeah, and he gestures over to kind of like a side area. Yes.
Could I get a general? Could I get access to the crew personnel files for? We're looking at cross-referencing some stuff about people that would have had access to the captain knows, yeah, about the incident.
Well, those are very sensitive files. Are you sure that you need access to them?
It would speed us significantly on our way. If it's any, I can have it be only me looking at them, and I'll just go through looking for what I need, then leave.
I suppose that I could do that. Yes, follow me, please. And he leads you into his office and pulls out a physical key and unlocks a file cabinet. It's all very analog on here, and pulls out the ka-chunk, 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 pulls out the big file cabinet, and gestures to the 80, 90 or so little folders that are organized by names written on in marker. Very, very
old school.
Yeah,
so there's paper.
Yeah, it's paper. It's
I've never seen paper before.
I think paper in Star Wars is called like flimsy or something. It's some weird name.
Paper.
Yeah, why not just paper?
Legends are like, and the toilets are called space reserves. Yes.
Yeah, it's some
all right.
Stupid.
I'm just gonna look through. I'll start with Jace, Said, and Zoth, but then also in proficiencies or history sections, just like quickly brushing through at a steady pace. Is he watching me the whole time?
Yeah, he's watching you.
I don't mind that at all. This is just gonna take a while because I have to read, not in detail, but I have to skim looking for the the pun intended trigger words of explosives, like
demolitions.
Yeah, and I'm looking for specific the charges that look like that were used in the bomb are I imagine shaped charges aren't necessarily a thing that they just hand out to every kid on the galactic street and whatnot. So I'm gonna look for that kind of stuff.
Okay, yeah. Let's go ahead and roll me a. Let's do a medium perception or vigilance. You can pick.
Give me a sec. Vigilance is perception. There is no difference at all. All right. And then
keep in mind you have light side tokens too.
Got it. And then I'm going to take the difficulty die and put 3 of them in here for the average or medium check.
And then should be 2 purples. Yeah,
2. Cool. That's that's easier. Thank you. All right. How do I get rid of a die?
You can double click it.
I got rid of all of them. So all right.
Excellent.
Technically the mission was accomplished. We just got rid of a little bit more alongside. This is just all over again. All right. I'm trying to think. Is there any way I could get any sort of advantages to this being a member of this, given my history, my background, and the security?
Yeah. Okay. I'd say you could take a boost. Like this is stuff you've done some vetting of people before, so you kind of know what to look for.
Got it.
So you can tack on a boosty to that.
Cool. I'll take a boosty.
A boosty boo. There we go. Well,
one success, 3 advantage.
1 success, 3 advantages. So as you're picking through all the personnel files, as you look at Jace's file, he has a charge on record. And this is in Imperial space, an Imperial charge. He had an arrest in the past for like larceny and petty thievery. But that was a while ago. But he is also having his wages garnished as well. That is a thing that you glean from this. But there's nothing in his file that would indicate he has any sort of expertise with explosives. Same thing with Saeed Mestos, and there's Sayed and Zoth. Nothing in there that would suggest they're any sort of like paramilitary trained sort of thing. The one thing that does pique your interest, though, is one of the other security officers, Myra Oliver. She was a mercenary with the Talon Company for a few years before she joined the crew. And she definitely, her file, like, her resume is in the file, and it says, like, proficiency with explosives.
Oh, dear.
Understood. After, if that's all the things of note, then I would like, thank you, Captain. Appreciate it.
No problem. I hope you catch them soon.
We will. And I connect with whatever the group's been doing while I've been paperworking.
Paperworking. Yes.
Echo would be trying to fix the door.
Which one? It's all of the doors.
The one we just came in at the bridge. Oh. The most recent one we passed that did not work. As soon as he saw them branch off and do something, he just started pulling out tools.
Yeah, just make an easy mechanics check.
Oh, where's my skills?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You bang it out in like 30 minutes. It's just like you pull out your can of space WD-40, and just like pss, 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 a couple spritzes in the bearings, and you're good to go.
I like to imagine there are people like trying to walk through, and you're like waving them, no, I gotta fix the door
you
first.
Put a sign out.
Caution, man at work.
Bat at work.
Yes. When Gunnar comes back, Echo's just standing there beaming. Very, very proud of himself.
Give him a smile.
So what did you find out?
So I relay the general, like, after I want to move off of the bridge.
Yeah. This is like as we're moving.
Yeah, move to a secure talking location where we are unlikely to be overheard. What would be a good place for that, Mike? Like, because I walking and talking is great until we bump into somebody and we all be like super quiet for a second, and they're like, "What are you doing?" Like,
they're very, very sus.
So, anyways, about the saboteur.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of like, most of the rooms that people sleep and live in on the ship are in groups of 4. So it's like 4 monks in a room, and then you have storage. You could easily duck into an empty room. It's shipboard time. It's the middle of the day, so most people are in the middle of their shift.
How thick are the walls between the 4 room clusters?
They're so it's not like each individual person gets their own room. It's just like 4 bunks in one room, and then they're kind of but they're thick enough.
Just imagine, we're like herded into a room, and then Aaron's just doing like a perimeter check.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on a sec before you make the joke. I would like to sweep the room for bugs. So
I agree.
I'm going to check all the crevices. I'm going to move very, very precision-like, checking every single area to see if there's any listening devices, check any adjacent rooms if I can to see if there's anyone in those with like a glass up against the side or something more technical. Surprised what low tech can do. All right.
I think Vrill's rolling their eyes just a little bit. Like, they get it, but do you have to go so hard?
He went this hard for us.
OPSEC is important. All right.
Yeah, give me a an easy vigilance check with a boost.
All right.
Because you're being vigilant. That makes sense.
I agree. All right, that's my vigilance is not full. 2 success, no advantage.
2 success, no advantage. Okay. Yeah, you don't find anything. Well, you don't find any listening devices. You do find, like, tucked in the corner of one of the rooms, you do find a small cloth wrapped satchel. It's in one of the adjoining rooms. It's a small cloth wrapped thing.
What's in it?
As you unwrap it, it is.
Hold on, I carefully unwrap it. I check it for traps.
Yeah, I check it for traps. No,
like legitimately, like a small bag hidden in a corner.
Okay, yeah.
I'm not gonna take too many illusions, but I used to do that to blow people up. So, you know.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, make me another easy vigilance check to not get blown up. Save or die.
You know, it's an extra 10 minutes. It's a lifetime.
I like I'm foreseeing how Echo is going to die.
Oh no.
All right. 2 success, 1 threat.
Okay. Yeah, it's not trapped. It's just like a little tiny cache. You know, someone was trying to hide it. Obviously, I mean, it's very clearly like hidden from view. You had to like move a poster, or you know. But inside is a cred stick. You know, the little credit chit for 157 credits. And the credits, 157 credits, a small inhaler, it looks like, and 2 small vials that look like they would fit inside the inhaler, filled with a blue liquid.
And this all seems like standard stuff. Like, have I seen space inhalers before? Have I seen?
You could make me a knowledge. No, I'd say you'd probably just know this, kicking around the Outer Rim long enough.
Hey, Doc, does this look like anything to you?
Yeah, Vrel, go ahead and make me an easy knowledge outer rim check, or knowledge underworld.
Knowledge underworld seems more like the appropriate. Cool. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3. I said 3. 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is 2 doses of Booster Blue, which is a narcotic stimulant that people use to help stay awake. It sharpens the resources. Sharpens the senses significantly in your mental acuity, but it's got a pretty harsh come down.
Yeah.
Cool. I put all the stuff.
Illegal?
Is it illegal? Yes, it's illegal.
Yeah.
Is it contraband on our ship? Because we're kind of sketchy.
There's no really technically illegal things are frowned upon, but it's certainly one of those things that's like, if you keep it hidden, it's not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So as a space cop, do I need to be concerned about this?
As a space cop, it's one of those things. It's like, don't let us catch you with it. So,
all right.
But technically, you've caught someone with it.
Yes.
Then I just put all the stuff back. We got bigger things to worry about right now.
Absolutely valid.
Okay.
All right. Room is secure. We can proceed to talk. In the personnel files, none of them have explicit experience with explosives, but Jace has been getting in a little bit of trouble, had a little bit of fights, has had his wage garnishes. That could potentially be a motive there. In addition, I look at my notes. Mariah Oliver, she's security forces too?
Yeah, she's another security officer.
Do I know her?
Yeah, you know her because you work with her pretty close. She's tough as nails.
Got it.
But she seems pretty above board.
Only person with the requisite explosive experience that at least that I saw there would have been Maria Oliver. She's got some mercenary experience, but in my experience, she's been pretty much above the board. Works on security forces.
How tall is she?
She's like 5'9", so like a little taller than average.
With an acceptable variance for the 6-foot-ish person.
Mm-hmm.
So do we think we're looking for one person, or is there more people on this?
It could be a conspiracy. It could just be two people doing their own separate underhanded things on the ship that happen to coincide, unfortunately.
That seems like too large of a coincidence.
The Minoc, did it look like it busted itself out, or was it busted?
It was busted from the inside. I remember that.
Yeah.
So it broke itself out of that box. But it was put there, so presumably for a reason.
Yeah, right now we've only got one suspect. And I think, Mike, what's the equivalent of space Occam's razor?
Spockham's razor?
Spockham's razor?
By Spockham's...
wrong IP, but I'll allow it.
by Spockham's razor, I would say that we should pursue one suspect for now and expand it if we think we need to.
So which one do you think is worth pursuing? You seem to have the most experience with this kind of thing.
I think we start off with Jace and then follow up with Mariah for any notes I got at all on Zoth or Saeed.
In terms of them being sketchy or suspicious?
Yeah, or like any. I did read their whole files. So
okay, yeah. If you specifically read,
are they?
Yeah, who are they? Well, Saeed likes long walks on the beach, and Zoth really likes hiking and staying in on Sunday afternoons.
Got it. I hope they both like The Office. So.
No.
Sorry, Spoffus.
Yeah, there's like I said before, there's really nothing too suspicious about them. They both joined a few months apart. One of them came from another shipping company, and the other was unemployed for several years before joining up.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
I say we start off with Kellor and then go to Oliver. We can also split up.
That is an option.
Is splitting up smart if they're dangerous?
They seem to be. Excuse me. I'm allergic to Minoc juice.
Minoc juice.
They are potentially dangerous, so it might be a good idea to stick together. We do, if we're assuming it's one suspect, we will outnumber them. But you guys are right. If there are co-conspirators, it might be a good idea. We should at least stick in groups of 2 or more. Are there technically 6 of us, or is he off doing work?
Jix.
Yeah.
Jix is off taking care of something. He had to go fix something on the ship. And by fix something, probably he said fix something. That means he's probably lying because he never actually does any work.
No, he's fixing a card game.
Yeah, there you
go. So that he wins.
Or who he wants wins.
So, there are 4 of you right now. So who's doing what? We've got some
buddy
options.
Pair off. Pick your buddy.
I mean, splitting up is potential. Though at the same time, Aaron seems to know how these things work more than most. So I'm also kind of fine with letting him take the lead with this thing and then following suit where needed.
All right. If you guys are okay with if y'all are okay with that, I'll take point and we'll move on Jace first.
Yeah. Yep. And moving on Jace is good because if they are working together, probably the weaker link.
He He's moderately tough. He helps us out in scraps sometimes, but he does not know as much about bombs.
Okay, so someone give me a medium streetwise check. Shipwise, excuse me.
Shipwise.
Shipwise.
Sure.
Shipwise, see? So who wants to do that?
I'm not very good at streetwise. If it's not shooting things, I'm probably not qualified. So,
Who here has the highest cunning?
I think we've all got 2.
I've got
Does anyone
2.
have more than 2? Yeah,
No.
so
You
just
got
be
me?
whatever.
Okay.
I'll do it.
All right, go for it.
Rock on.
Keep in mind, also have tokens.
Yeah. At the
those
same
are all-
time, I'm not. You know, I feel like we'll find it, and if not, we can just try again. It's not gonna.
Okay.
Successes, but threats.
Oh.
Yes. A threatening success. Successes with a threatening aura. So you asking around various crew members. You do. So everyone's sticking together, correct? Okay.
Yes.
I feel like all threats and all successes is how Jar Jar rolls.
No,
What?
his is like it's like 5 threats, but still technically 1 success.
Yeah.
That's Han Solo. Han Solo is like 1 success, 2 despairs on every single roll he does.
I feel like Jar Jar is all failure, but all advantage. So,
Yeah, you're right. The other way.
you try to get onto the cart, you fail, but you open up all the Boombas and they kill half of the
Yeah, I suppose that isn't accurate.
You try to dodge out of the way of a carrier, you fail, but you get picked up by a great Jedi.
Okay. So you, the 4 of you ask around a few people. Like, someone says, "Oh, he's on his shift right now in the cargo hold." That's not true. You ask someone else. "Oh, he's pumping out the old space bilge." No, that's not true. There's no bilge on the ship. You ask a third person, and they say, "Oh, he's on lunch, so he's in the mess hall right now." But as you open up the door into the mess hall, one of the doors into the mess hall, he is sitting. He's playing Hintaro, which is a dice game, with a few other of just the crew members at lunch, and he's sitting at the table. He's got his space glop, space bread, and blue milk, delicious and nutritious for another galactic standard boy.
We grow fast. We need to eat good food. Does anyone else? Excuse me, space puberty. Does anyone else know him? Like I fought alongside him, but I don't think I've ever interacted with him. But does anyone like? He works on engineering, doesn't he? Like or cargo moving.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think it would have been. I don't think Exel's super close to anybody. It's moving around boxes. You don't exactly have chit chat time.
Someone could spend maybe a light side token to know more, or to be well acquainted with him. That's something I would certainly allow.
Probably gets in a lot of trouble if the doctor would, for narrative purposes. I feel like the doctor might know him because I think he gets the crap beat out of him sometimes.
Does that track? If that tracks, then yeah, I'll spend a light side point. Why not?
Yeah, sure. That makes sense. Cool. That makes narrative reasons. So yeah, just go ahead and oh, there you go. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Vrel, you're not like super close friends with him, but the few times that he's been in, he's a bit of a Chad. You know what I mean? Like he's kind of cocky. He in his mind he never does anything wrong. He's definitely got that bro vibe to him. He has one of those like tribal armband tattoos,
Oh, he's the worst. I hate him already.
But the few times that you've talked to him, you know that he's been, if not in trouble with Imperial law, he's been in trouble with like the Hutts, and in trouble with the Crimson Dawn and the Black Sun, and it's always the same thing. It's because he's dumb and he gambles away his money or spends it on like thrill-seeking adventures, or or spends it on other ventures. He's very easily conned, is the vibe you get from talking to him. He's like, yeah, I tried to start this business. Some dude sent me an email on the HoloNet, and I tried to start this business. All I needed was 10,000 credits, so I took out a loan because it said I'd get 100,000 back, and I never heard from him again. That's happened to him like twice.
Buddy.
And involved in multi-level marketing schemes.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, do you want to buy some supplements, bro?
I hate him.
That's the type of person that he is.
Never mind. Let's resort to violence immediately.
No.
Beat it out of him. No, that's not my character. I'm giving up on my pacifism.
Just for this guy.
Just for this guy.
Anyway, I start shooting. No,
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Oh no.
So anyways, I just started blasting.
I don't want to arrest my friends. Well, my coworkers.
So, but he looks up and sees Vrel first, and I think most of all he thinks that he and Vrel are friends, even if that's not true at all.
Is it because I put up with him? Because I have to, because it's my job.
Exactly. But he looks up and he sees Vrel first, because Vrel's the biggest, and offers a friendly wave. And then you notice he sees Exul, Echo, and he makes eye contact with Aaron. And this is what I'm spending the threats on. He immediately stands up and tries to bolt out of the room. He's booking it, trying to get to the door.
Activate anti-chat escape procedure. Move.
Yeah, so he thinks he's in trouble. Where he can go on a ship to escape the law is
I don't know where he thinks he's going.
Yeah,
but,
is beyond me. But he's just running. Look, he's not very smart. He's not the smartest person.
If Echo had not well maintained this door so well, he wouldn't be able to get out so fast. Now
Exactly. He runs up. It opens all the way for once.
Hey, I fixed that one.
I mean, if I can, I'm gonna like move to step in front of the door and do my biggest armed.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a
athletics, maybe, to outrun him.
Yeah, this will be a contested athletics check. So you'll be rolling against his.
Is he running?
Yeah, he's running.
Yeah, he's sprinting.
Oh, well then I'm gonna fucking book and nail him against the wall if I can. Sorry, I'm going to Drucking push him.
There you go.
Sorry. No, Star Wars is.
Yeah, Star Wars swears.
I need to get the list back out. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You get it once. This once.
So.
Yeah. So go ahead and give me a. It's contested by his athletics. He's a pretty athletic person. So go ahead and give me a red, purple check. Athletics check. It's contested by his.
Yeah, that's athletics is a skill and he uses bronze.
Mm-hmm.
He's stronger than me. He lifts more.
Ooh. Okay. That's fun.
I sneeze.
Yeah. You sneeze and delete him.
Oh no!
Oh no!
That's terrifying.
Wasn't any force sensitive people.
Yeah.
Jesus are the Force.
Yeah, that's not how the Force works.
I should have asked for help from the giant lizard behind me, but Gunner's not used to trusting people yet.
Oh, character development. So he shoulder checks you As you try to like get in the way, he just drills you with his shoulder, and you fall flat on your ass. Go ahead and take a wound and a bruised rib.
Oof.
Yeah, he got you, and you fall backwards, kind of into the group of everyone. So he manages to slip out the door. Y'all can go ahead and try to chase him, but the check is now harder.
I mean, I'm not gonna hesitate. I'm gonna pursue, weapon out, ready to move.
Okay, cool. So you come out.
Oh, you got glitchy.
You come out the door. Am I still robot-y?
No, I think it was my internet, not yours.
Okay. You run out the door and you see him just like skid around a corner to the left. So you can go ahead and give me another red, purple, purple athletics check with a setback. So anyone can do this if you just want to chase him.
Seeing the corridor he goes around can I try and like head him off while this is happening?
Yeah. Make a knowledge education check.
I have a proficiency in that.
Yeah, that's going to be a medium one. We'll call that 2 purples.
Cool. Yay.
Okay. There are 2 ways this. So the corridor you went down turns to the left, and it goes towards the bow of the ship. But there are 2 branching pathways it goes to. One heads towards the bridge, and the other heads towards the like dormitory section, the crew quarters, the actual rooms you guys were in. But there's also a few rooms that he can duck into as well that are along that path. And one of those rooms happens to be the refreshers, or space bathrooms.
All right. Well, since I'm familiar with this guy, at least whether I like it or not, could I spend those advantages to have a better sense of where I think he'll go, so I can go there?
Yeah, you could make me. You're hunting.
Well, I got 2 advantages on the check there.
Yeah, exactly.
So
you could. I'll open it up for another check, and I'll throw you a boost, just because there's a lot of possibilities of places he could go, and he's. It looks like he was panicked, so he's a little unpredictable. So go ahead and make me a medium survival check, but you get a boost because you're hunting him. The hunter stalks its prey.
Oop, nope, oop. There we go. For an ex-bounty hunter, I'm actually not very good at survival. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Hey, I got a success at least.
All right.
That means I managed to figure something out.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Okay. I know what I'm gonna do with those threats. As you're running down the hallway after him, Aaron, we'll resolve your role in just a moment here. As you're running down the hallway after him, you hear the very distinctly squeaky sound of the refresher door opening.
Oh, I wasn't going to go after him. I wanted to like go a different way to head him off was more the thing, not chase him down.
Oh, okay.
And I figured like pincer maneuver is like what I'm going for here.
Okay. Well, in that case, you still hear the refresher door open. And you're fairly certain there's no that you do know that's the only door to go in and out of the refreshers, and you hear some angry shouting coming from inside the refresher, and another crewman wearing just a towel around his waist like comes out, his hands thrown up in frustration. As you see him like walk around the corner, he's like, "What the hell, man? Jace just ran into the bathroom. I was taking a shower."
All right, well, let's go back and deal with Aaron's check because I feel like I kind of overread that. Didn't mean to.
No worries. So Aaron, you come around the corner. He's gone.
Do I see Vrel?
You know that Vrel went down another corridor behind you.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll just start searching because I don't know where Vrel went or what the bathroom deal is, or sorry, refreshers deal is.
So, Vrel, you know that he's in the refresher right now.
Do you have a comlink, Karen?
I do, yeah.
All right. In that case, would it be obviously? I assume I can just use my comlink and be like.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I don't know if comlinks are like pre-established. We have to set up the chat, or if they're just walkie-talkies.
Do we need a group chat? No,
the
we can just use
solvers.
it.
Set it in the DMs.
Minox squad.
Yeah.
It's got like a little emoji of a Minoc.
Excellent.
Oh Lord. Yeah, you hear like crackling over the comlink, Vrel hissing, "He's in the refreshers."
I'm a
Idiot.
For the record, all of my gun-related shooting things will be on stun.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
Before you burst in again, allow me to attempt to address this.
All right. I ready at the door, sort of like waiting for him to come out so I can.
I wait for the rest of them to get there because I assume the others will catch up along the way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Echo brings up the rear.
All right.
I feel like Aaron and Exil both set up outside the door, like stun setting blasters on.
Okay. And what are we doing? So, Vrel, you going into the refresher?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You open it up. There's several shower stalls. There's a bunch of various bathroom equipment for various species. I won't get into specifics. And there are like toilet stalls too. And he is surprisingly nowhere to be found inside the refresher, at least on a cursory examination.
Oh, like even opening up the stalls?
If you want to open up the stalls, you try one, it opens up, empty. Try the second one, opens up, empty. Try the third one, it's locked.
Jace, are you in there?
There's no response.
This doesn't have to be difficult. We're only looking for some answers.
Go ahead and make me a medium charm or leadership check. I'll let you pick.
They're both the same, so why the hey?
And go ahead and take a boost because he thinks that you're his friend.
and I think it's we're not going, or I'll make sure no one hurts you. This was not the intent. And I feel like that definitely is something that rings true. Hang on. Sorry. Sorting out dice. 2 green, 2 purple, 1 blue.
Exactly.
Nice. Yay!
All right. Very nice. We got some hot rolls today. So far, Aaron's been the only one with where it is.
To be fair, every check that has a red dice he's had to roll, and he's rolled the despair.
It's those allergies, space allergies.
The Minoc allergies.
It's extremely allergic to Minox.
Looks to be the way to find out.
There is a clicking noise, and the stall door opens, and he is like he's not squatting on the toilet like he's taking a dump, but he's like crouching on the toilet,
Oring on it, so his feet don't show.
Yeah, like he was hiding in there. And he kind of looks around nervously, and he's like, "What's this about?" I mean, I saw you guys coming, and I heard that you guys were looking for me, and I mean, I whatever it is, I didn't do it. I just thought. He kind of shuts himself up before he continues.
There's been an incident aboard.
And well, whatever it is, I didn't do it.
I'm sure, but there are questions that need to be answered, and you may have some, whether you know it or not.
Okay. And he kind of like looks at the toilet and is like, are we gonna have the conversation in here?
Come with me. I will ensure that no one lays a hand on you.
Okay. And he nods and climbs down off the toilet and starts and goes to follow you. He's seemingly been placated.
Yeah. I'm gonna I think steer him by the shoulder with kind of a firm grip, not in the I'm threatening you way, in the I'm keeping you here, and also this is to make sure that nobody starts shooting at you when you come out without me.
the I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed grip. I get you.
This is
Okay. The rest of you see Vrel retrieve Jace from outside of the toilet stall where he was hiding. He looks sheepish, nervous. He like tries to meet Aaron's eyes, but as soon as he does, he kind of like looks down.
If you have questions, Mr. Gunner, I recommend we find a more secure location. Also, it would do well for you to curb your... I don't want to say temper. No, I'm going to say temper, because he was in a bad mood, and then he immediately did jump to the aggressive ones when he was running instead of... Yeah, he says that.
He shoulder checked me and bruised my rib.
You ran for him with a gun.
That was out of character, sorry.
Oh, okay.
I didn't run with him I ran with him with a gun after he physically assaulted a member of the ship.
I thought you had the gun out first.
Is it after he stabs me that the escalation starts? It's like once I'm dead, then it's time for violence. So I'm like, all right. If he doesn't try to run, try to hit me again, I have no ill intents towards this gentleman.
Vel casts a look down at Jace and then nods firmly. I assure you he will not.
How far away from the room that I checked out? Because I'm not really inclined to check out another one. I'm willing, and I'll do it, but
it's easy enough to just get back there.
Okay. I will. I do a cursory check of it again to see if anything's changed, but
yeah, no, it's still all the same. No roll needed. And he kind of like looks around and he goes, "What are we doing back in my room?"
This is your room then.
Yeah, and he points at one of the beds and there's this like nice, like white pelt that's kind of over the top of it. He's talked about this before, Vrel. This is a wampa pelt. It's very nice, very warm.
It's as impressive as you describe, Vrel says, nodding towards the pelt. He's a Trandoshan. He's got to, respect a good pelt.
Yeah, respect the drip, as they say.
Okay. But now is not the time. Mr. Gunner?
At what time for the log of the ship?
Mm-hmm.
When was the special animal crate? Is there a timestamp on that? Sorry, I had meant to ask this earlier.
Oh yeah, there is a. Specifically, why are you asking? Because I'm not just.
I want to know.
You're gonna do like where are you at the?
Yeah, I want to ask when the crate was logged in the system as coming in on the ship.
It was logged in the system during his shift as like a cargo mover. the day the Emperor Leopold left Elrude.
All right. So, are we having him sit? We'll have him sit down in a chair.
Mm-hmm.
Are the chairs in this room?
Yes, there's like a table and some chairs and everything. Yeah.
Got it. I'm gonna take a chair. I'm gonna kick it around backwards. I'm gonna sit over it. I'm like, now look here, Jace. How you doing? How you doing today?
I mean, I'm all right. Yeah, I'm fine.
Good. Yeah, I'm fine too. And you didn't ask, but God, my chest hurts a little bit. But besides that, yeah, I'm pretty fine. But what do you know about Minox?
I mean, on shore leave, I hunted some of them back on Elrude. I know that they create a lot of slime and they blow up when you spray helium at them.
Yeah, my friends and I used to do that. It was a pretty good time,
Yeah.
But I actually have to think about what I want to say for a second. The brain is going really slowly today. Very sick.
Ask him if he knows anything about engines.
You familiar at all with the engines on this ship?
I know they make us go. He's not very smart.
Hey, I mean, Gunner doesn't know that much more about engines besides like his basic briefings, and he was kind of half asleep through that. So for the most part, he knows they go. So he respects that. Functional knowledge. During the on your shift, we noted a discrepancy in some of the cargo that was loaded up onto the ship, and I'm like watching him as I'm talking, and I'm kind of looking for any sort of reactions to anything. We noticed a discrepancy in the ship. It appears that a piece of cargo was not signed off by our first mate. I described the crate, sort of the size of it. Do you remember loading that piece of cargo, Jace?
He shakes his head.
Is it like the I'm full of shit shakes my head, or like?
Make me a medium vigilance check. See if he's lying or no. Or discipline. I think lying can be opposed by discipline or vigilance. Your pick.
Yeah, it's the same. So you said medium?
Yeah, medium. He's telling the truth, as far as you can tell.
Also, I want to to tell the rest of you guys, like, feel free to jump in if you want to ask him anything. Like, you don't have to comlink through me to talk. Like,
anyone else?
I don't want to overhog the spotlight here, but
that's fine.
I'm trying to think of how to ask questions. My brain's doing the same thing.
Anyone else can go ahead and make me an easy perception check.
All right.
I will try.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, look, Jace, when I came in the room, you tried to run away. Why'd you do that, son?
Oh, jeez. Yes. So
Option's dumb.
So Echo and Exul, the both of you see that he is constantly looking past Aaron back to a poster mounted on the wall where the both of you remember that's where Aaron found a little cloth wrapped satchel with the credits and the booster blue in it.
I thought that was in the other room.
It's in this room.
Oh,
when you were sweeping it for bugs. But he's constantly looking past Aaron, like his eyes keep flitting to that Um, to Aaron, Jace responds, I don't know. I mean, I'm just kind of in trouble a lot. I'm tired of getting caught. Look, okay, I'm sorry. I panicked. I heard that you all were looking for me, and that's never a good thing when the doctor and a security officer are looking for you.
And Echo will start shifting himself closer to that poster, not like beelining, just yeah.
Yeah, make an easy stealth check, Echo.
Let's see. All right.
Sneaky, sneaky. Can you get a boost dice for being silhouette 0?
Yeah, sure. Actually, take a boost for being a small bat boy.
The smallest bat boy.
Okay. Yeah, he doesn't seem to notice you as you kind of like, like slowly scoot your way over.
And then so after I get into position while he's talking, basically going to be waiting for him to actively glance that direction again, and I'm going to make it obvious that I know he's looking that way. Now that I'm in position.
Okay. I mean, like his eyes flit over, and they flit to like just above your head, where you know the thing is hidden behind the poster.
And my ears like
and then they come down to you, and he makes eye contact with you, and immediately you notice. Everyone notices basically. Like he stiffens up. Like he's like, oh, this isn't good. Very clearly broadcast that it's like, okay, there's some sort of jig and it's up. But he doesn't say anything.
What do I say to this kid that I'm interrogating? How old is he?
Like 23, 24.
Okay, then we're actually pretty close to the same age then. So
he's kind of a mess.
Got it. Right.
And then as he looks at me, Echo's gonna be like, "Have you been in the engine room last 2 days? Was it 2 days ago? 3 days ago? I can't remember.
I think it was within the past 3 days.
Yeah, because it was like 50 hours or something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He shakes his head no. He's like he's like you can see he's clenching his jaw and like sucking his lips in, so that you can't see his lips. Like he's very clearly nervous, and he just doesn't say anything. He just kind of like shakes his head no to being asked about the engine room.
Jace, my mission today is not to get you in trouble because I got a little bit more important shab to do today, but
excellent.
What I got, so I want you to answer with me honestly. I know you've gotten in trouble with most of the criminal elements that we come across on our on the more seedier worlds that we visit. You in trouble right now?
Make a leadership check. Aaron,
that's not shooting a person with a gun though. I'm not good at that.
Or it could be leadership or coercion, your pick. It'll be I'll say 1 difficulty with a setback.
Got it. Right now I'm trying to I'm actually trying to help the kid out, kind of thing. Like he's the same age as me, but I feel like Aaron's kind of seen more of the world. Like seems a bit more mature than he is. So,
definitely.
That was 1. What was the difficulty on that? Sorry.
A purple die and a setback die.
Got it. Purple die, and I love that they label them. That helps so much.
Yes, that's really nice. Ooh.
And I am just in the drags today. All of my rolls appear to be really. Hold on, sorry, gotta open back up the tab. Shabaise.
Yeah.
Wait, that's asset. That doesn't really fit. Sorry. All right. Why is it in the S? Oh, it's S word substitute. That's not. Anyway.
Yeah, he says. I mean, I'm always in trouble, but I mean,
yeah,
not anything new.
Nothing with explosives.
Again, shakes his head no on the explosives.
I sort of let a beat go by. Looks like I'm kind of thinking for a second. Let's see. I don't want to echo. If you want to do like the drug review, you're definitely free to do that. I didn't know.
Oh, what was hidden behind the poster? Because I missed that.
It's drugs.
More drugs?
Yeah. It was the drugs we found earlier.
The drugs we found earlier. We brought it back
hidden.
to the same room.
Yep.
I mean, I don't really care these drugs. We're trying to figure out who blew up the cooling system.
I'll just ask him generally then. You hear anything about anybody that might have some, I'm just going to say, negative feelings about the ship? And I mean to the extent of that they do not... they wish to commit acts of violence. I'm not sure how to say that in Gunner's voice right now, but I kind of ask him to, do the word about town, is anybody seemed a little bit off lately, extra nervous, troublesome. He plays cards with people regularly. Mm-hmm. Anybody owe a lot of people money kind of thing? Anybody?
Well, I mean, that Jix guy, he's pretty shifty. He owes me about 100 credits.
All right, I will pass that through the filter. He owes him 25. Got
yeah, okay. No, there's... It's all pretty quiet. We play cards. I play cards anyway, but with my friends. I don't take the credits. I mean, this is kind of all of our homes. I don't know why anyone would particularly want to blow it up. It kind of like... He's having like a little bit of a crisis, just a bit. I don't... look, I ran because I was scared. I ran because I thought that you had found my stash. And...
We did.
Oh.
Yeah, you're riding the boost, kid. Yeah. You're hanging with the blue Twi'lek.
The colloquial term is being a boosty. That's what you call someone who's addicted to Booster Blue, as a boosty.
Yeah, but I mean, clearly, I don't know what the real terms are for the drug.
He says, look, I mean, the boys and I, we on shore leave. I mean, we like to go hit the clubs and we do a few hits of boosty and off we go. But kind of like he looks between everyone. Look,
you know this is a restricted substance, don't you?
Look, last time things got a little rowdy back on Elrude. I was out with Myra. She and I are kind of a thing sometimes. We got into trouble with the Black Suns. And they're sending a shipment along the same path. They thought we might catch it. So they told us all would be forgiven if we just stopped the ship for a bit. It looks very dejected and defeated.
And so he just said all would be that they're sending a shipment along this same path, and all would be forgiven if. So he just admitted to stopping the ship, right? I'm interpreting that correctly.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Basically,
everything's kind of in slow motion.
Basically, he and Myria got in trouble with the Black Sun, and they can get out of trouble with them.
Yeah.
Their trouble will be forgiven if they could stop the ship for long enough so that the paths won't cross and we won't, be in any position to stop or attack that shipment. Because pirates.
Do you have any idea how stupid it is to set bombs in a ship in space?
Well, I mean, Myra said she'd take care of it. She's worked with it before. She knows what to do. I just had to make sure that the crate got where it got.
You're incredibly stupid. Do you know that?
He nods his head.
As long as you're aware.
So Aaron's actually kind of gripping the seat a little bit. He seems incredibly mad about this.
Look, I'm sorry. I owe them a lot of credits. They said they'd hurt me. They said they'd hurt my ma.
What exactly is the Mike? Sorry, I'm referring to Mike. What exactly is the normal consequence for attempting to sabotage the ship that you serve on?
Well, it depends. In this sort of like contracted, like semi paramilitary merchant marine role, that it's like you go to jail. You go to the brig for a while until you make port, and then you're processed by the local authorities.
Got it.
If you were in hut space, you would just toss this guy out of an airlock.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Like this guy would be spaced.
I think actively noticing that Aaron seems really pissed. I think Vrel does give him a side eye and quietly reminds him, "Any justice is to be doled out by the captain, Mr. Gunner. Calm yourself. We have our culprits."
I am to capture and get him to the captain. The captain made no inclinations or explanations as to the condition that the package has to be shipped in.
Jace leans back in his chair, very scared.
Gunner's got just for contextual purposes on his general awesome cool guy coat. Gunner has his combat knife right here, sort of locked up on it, and he just sort of flicks that off. And he's just like,
Vrel is going to.
Do you understand what could have happened? Do you understand what dealing with the Black Suns is like? Do you understand that the explosive could have gone wrong? Do you understand that we were sitting ducks and you put everyone in this ship in danger? Do you understand that?
Look, man.
Do you understand that? I don't want quibbling.
I didn't then. I do now. You're right.
Well, you're going to have a long time to really contemplate that fact to make sure that you know. I am not going to hit him. I really want to hit him. I am not going to hit him, but I'm going to flick this other. I'm going to comlink in to the mistress at arms. She's aware of the situation as well, right? I believe she talked to us once.
She found you guys.
She yelled at Jix.
Yeah, she yelled at Jix because she thinks that Jix stole her Rick blade.
Yeah, we never went back to her after fixing the engine.
Yeah. So
she knew there was something wrong with the engine. I don't think she knew that it was sabotage.
Yeah, she might not know.
Got it. I turned to them. Anything else you want to say to this? Sith spit. That one doesn't make any sense. No one knows who the Sith are. They were destroyed for 1,000 years. Like, sorry.
It's a general. You could use this in like old Republic games, but
All right, sorry.
No worries.
We've got another problem. He knew we were coming for him, so she will too.
Yeah, this is. I'm afraid, Doctor, that this might not be able to remain as peaceful as you would like.
Well, we will do our
Especially
best to
because
we will do our best to keep it so until that is no longer a possibility.
her taste aside, Myra's rather tough. So I think that we should just stay wary and don't get in my way.
Now, Myra's a part of the security force, right?
She is part of the security force. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Crap.
All right.
Seeing as she is a part of your force, I will leave the jurisdiction to you. I, however, will escort Jace to the captain to ensure that nothing happens.
Could we call in so the so that we bring? Excuse me. I want to make sure I remember the Wookiee's name. I'll use her traditional name. Can we call in to come into the?
It was like Vrock.
Valk. Yes.
Okay. I want to connect. I want to connect with Valk to like. Hey, just like. I mean, obviously,
or dealing with the Myra or Miria.
Yeah, I'm looking to enlist her help and just say, is there like a code for we need to arrest one of these crew members quietly?
There can be. That's feasible enough.
Got it.
Yeah.
We got a code 66 on Myra.
Be Oliver.
On Myra Oliver. Well, I mean, we're on a first name. Most of the crew's on a first name basis.
So the canned translated, Valk speaks through a translator because Shiriwook is notoriously difficult to learn.
Yeah.
She asked why.
I explain. Let's see. Okay, I kind of imagine this thing as like you only use it when you're 100% sure that this is the case.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, you're gonna get roasted for it. Like,
okay, I see.
This is an internal security matter. We need to act on this now.
Okay, sure.
This needs to stay subtle. I'm happy to quickly explain
yeah, it's like you'd be fired if you used this and it wasn't actually needed.
Yeah, which I really hope I'm not fired.
Okay. That would kind of suck.
I like my job. But yes.
Okay. In that case, we can disregard.
I do not know if this channel is secure. I do not want to give any more information out.
Yeah, we can in the light of that, we can disregard that she asked why. So you just said code 66, Miria.
Got it. And then I'm gonna make my way to move where she is, so that her and I and whomever would like to come with me can
make the arrest.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, with that, we're gonna take a brief 5 to 10 minute break. Have people grab a drink, grab a bite to eat, and then we'll finish up strong with the arrest and the finale of episode 2, Footprints in the Mucous. So we'll be right back in 5 to 10 minutes. So don't go anywhere, and we'll see you soon. Alrighty, and we are back. Thank you everyone for waiting so patiently. I hope you got some snacks. I don't know what they eat for snacks in Star Wars, but I know that they drink blue milk, and I hope you got some of that. So, or water too. That's good for you. Hydrate or dihydrate. That's what Papa Palpatine always said. So,
Pal friend Patine.
Yep. So, So, where we last picked up, Vrel was taking Jace to the captain, and Aaron was going to go arrest Miria. Mm-hmm. Is that correct? Who's going where? Who's going with whomst?
I'm comfortable going alone.
Okay. Yeah, Exil will go with Gunner.
Okay.
Yep. Echo's following. Gunner.
Sounds good.
Gunner and Exil.
So, Aaron, you link up with Voke, the Wookiee Mistress's Arms, and she says, her translator says, I was unable to find Miria. She seems to be hiding somewhere on the ship. Much better than Jace seemed to have been.
Got it. Are there any escape craft on this ship at all?
There are 2 escape pods.
I know this is kind of not the point of escape pods, but can we lock them down? That's a little counter, like, you kind of want that to always work. But...
Yeah, that's valid. Yeah, so you would have to go to probably the security center, and you could probably lock them down with the captain's authorization.
Got it.
But Vauta said she did post 2 guards by them, just in case.
Got it. Mm-hmm. For a relative scaling of like of Oliver's like ability and stuff, like, is she like crazy? Hold on, sorry, excuse me. Crazy bad Dwang, where she's like can fight anybody, or is it kind of like those guards will like? Is she like a crew elite, or is she kind of just like, I'm kind of a crew, I'm a tough person. I'm on the crew doing the crew stuff.
Yeah, I'll knock some heads together.
Yeah.
She could probably beat you up, Aaron. Like, that's what I'm gonna say. Like, if you were to fight her one-on-one, like just like fisticuffs, she'd probably beat you up.
We'll see that.
It'd be a close fight, but she'd probably win. Like, she's
challenge accepted.
She's just a little tougher. She's a little bit more experienced. Like, she
cut to her punting Echo across the hallway.
Yeah. But she's got some experience, and she knows what she's doing.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we need to secure the escape. Why don't so only the captain can secure the escape pods?
Yes, because that's a pretty high level security thing.
Got it. We need to get the captain to the security center, and we need to get to the escape pods. So, by my ship map, where are the escape pods in relative to the security center and relative to us? Or are we in the security center?
You guys are. We can be that you guys are already in the security center. It's like the security / like CIC. Or combat information center for the lay person. So this is where, like, if you guys are in a fight with another ship, this is kind of where everything is controlled from. At least, like, coordination wise. There are individual gunnery pods other places, but yeah. Let's see. Hold on. I'm digging up something here about the Emperor Leopold. Hold on one moment.
All right.
Let's see. Just digging back here a little bit. Yeah, so the Emperor Leopold is about 300 or so meters long. From
Got it.
recalling this correctly. So like, it takes a bit of time to get from one end of it to another, but it's no Spaceballs. If I walked, the movie would be over. Sort of deal.
Got it.
Yeah.
In that case, I will ask Vauka. Voke. Wow, very few syllables, a lot of vowels. Got it.
Yeah.
I'll remember that.
Wookiee is a complicated language. Shiriwook is complicated.
Beautiful, complicated language. I'll ask Voke. Ma'am, what would you like to do? Can we get the captain down here quickly? And do you want us to go secure this escape? And technically, I pass it up. She's in charge of me, so yeah. I'm kind of like, here's the situation. What do you want us to do? I'm happy to go. I'm happy to give her a plan of action, but she has to sign off on it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She says, take Exil and go secure the escape pods.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. Take Exil, go secure the escape pods. We'll try to go find her.
I'm gonna take Echo.
Yeah, the Wookiee and Echo.
The Wookiee and the Chadrapan.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
The tall and the small go to try to find the escape pod, and then Vrel, you're still taking Jace back to the back to the captain.
With my firm yet disappointed grip.
Yeah, your disappointed dad grip on Jace.
Is there a general, like, everyone security forces, this is the code, this is the target, let's like track her down, let's move, radio gunner if you see her.
Yeah,
let's catch this traitor.
Yeah, you could put the alarm out.
Got it. I want to keep it moderately quiet, just on the very off chance that she doesn't yet know, and that she's just like in the bathroom and everyone was too polite to check.
Okay, yeah. Kind of picking around, you start getting like confirmations from all the other guards at their posts. They're like, I'll keep an eye out. I'll catch her if she comes by. All sorts of shit like that. As Vrel, you are met by a very speedily power walking Captain Ondu. He's walking towards the stern, or he's walking towards you, and he sees you and Jace, and he looks at Jace confused, and then looks at Vrel still confused, and says, "Why have you brought him? Is he the one who's responsible for everything?"
One of two.
It
was a conspiracy. The other would be one of your security officers, Miria Oliver.
That is upsetting. Miria has been with the crew for a long time.
It would seem that she and Jace found themselves in a bit of trouble with the Black Sun.
Ondu walks up to Jace, just kind of like gives him an up and a down, and says, "Jace, when I brought you onto my ship, I brought you on to be part of a family. The crew. You're like a family to me. The ship is my home. You live in my home. You're part of my family. Back on Ryloth, we offer everything that we can to strangers, to people who come into our home, because they're like family to us. And you have betrayed that. I am disappointed in you." And in a blur, Captain Ondu draws his pistol and shoots Jace in the chest, who collapses to the deck, dead. Captain Ondu has a really nice pistol. It's big. It's very big. It's got all sorts of like attachments on it. This thing is not to be trifled with. But Jace collapses to the deck, and he looks at Vrel, like kind of like an expectant look, like, are you going to challenge me on this?
That seemed unnecessary, Captain.
It was a mercy. Do you know what they do to saboteurs in the Merchant Marine? Do you know what they do to them in prison? Much worse things. Doctor, can I get the time of death, please? And he gestures to the corpse.
Is Jace dead?
Yeah. Oh, he's dead.
Then I absolutely, yes. Whatever time it is.
Yeah. 1647, whatever. 24-hour time. Shipboard time. Because time is both wibbly and wobbly. And he says, now, we have another traitor to go catch.
My associates are already attempting to track her down with the help of Valk.
Good. Come with me. We may yet have to track her down ourselves.
Shall I leave the body here, sir?
And he, like, catches two nearby swabbies. People just kind of like, hey, there was a gunshot. What's going on? And he points to the two of them. You. Take this corpse. Cold storage. And he starts walking down the ship towards the CIC. As he's walking briskly, he kind of gestures for Vrel to follow. And he says to you, Vrel, he says, this is not good. I am expecting that we will have company soon. Can't you feel it in the air?
Can I feel it in the air? It does seem too still.
I agree. I hope that your skills will not be needed this day, but something tells me that they will be. I'm glad to have you aboard our ship, but I do need to know, are you with me?
I am prepared, Captain.
Good. He gives Vrel a friendly slap on the shoulder and, like, storms off towards the CIC. We cut towards Aaron and Exil. You two are... how are you making your way towards the escape pods? Are you guys, like, weapons drawn? Or, like, running? Briskly walking? Give me the lowdown.
I kind of imagine weapons out, down to the side, running past everybody to get there quickly, but...
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of like jogging a little bit. I'd say a low ready position.
Okay. And you come around the corner and you see the two guards in front of the two escape pods. And they both they kind of wheel around like, oh shit. Oh, okay. It's just Aaron and Exil. And they both give you there's really no structure within the ship guards other than that Vok's the boss. So it's not like there's a pecking, there's an informal pecking order, but there's no they don't salute you or expect a salute, but they just kind of give the two of you a friendly nod and says, she hasn't been by here. Do you really think that she blew up the engines? That's a bold move. Why would you do that?
I'm just what do I want to say for this? Seems like she got in over her head with some nasty people and chose them over us.
They both very visibly are they're both very disappointed, they're both really kind of PO'd. I said, well, do you want us to stay here? Do you want to go hunt her down? Because that's what I want to do.
Stay here.
Oh.
We don't until the escape pods are locked down. It's harder to hunt her in space. Does this ship have guns?
It does. It has external turrets.
Got it. Just checking if there is a solution to if she gets past the escape
Look,
pod.
we hunt pirates. We gotta have some kind of offense.
Yeah, there's big like ship to ship cannons, and then there's like point defense turrets for fighters and for incoming missiles and stuff like that.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah,
Do we have fighter craft?
There are 2 Z-95 headhunters in the hangar bay.
We should probably secure those as well. I mean, they're going to take a long. I assume those take a long time to prep, but
yeah, they're
just in case.
They're pretty old. They're old craft, but they're they can be made ready to fly in about 20 minutes. It definitely takes time to get them ready, but
we could send these guys down to watch those while we keep the escape pods.
Let's see if Vok sent these guys here. I don't want to contradict her orders.
That's fair.
So I think and like I lean over and like I think if she is in the hangar, we'd have a better chance of checking it out. So
I assume the two of you start running towards the hangar bay.
Can we just radio to lock the hangar bay down?
That's another thing we could do. Security's on high alert.
If we just tell the maintenance crew, hey, don't let anyone steal an airplane or a space plane.
Yeah,
like it takes a team. I'm not sure how these ships work. Like, is it all automated, or does it take a team of crew to like? And by automated, I mean like ship automated. Not like droids are technically automated.
Yeah, it's mostly a ship automated process.
Got it.
Like it's automated by the actual craft itself, but it does take time to warm up. You can like quick start them. That's definitely a thing that pilots can do, but it's detrimental to the systems. And these things are just as old as the Emperor Leopold itself. So, who knows how much system is left to be abused inside of these things. They're mostly like duct tape and spit is holding these things together.
So we can lock them down, though.
But you can lock them down. That is a thing that...
Got it.
Mm-hmm. At the very least, lock the hangar down. Make sure no one's in there. Mm-hmm. That isn't supposed to be.
Yeah.
But as you are calming the hangar to get it locked down, we cut to Voke and Echo looking in the cargo bay.
I love the dramatic split up.
Yeah, for Miria.
Dynamic duo.
And she, so Voke is walking. Her stride is like 5 of Echo's.
I feel like after some point she should just stop and then like reach down and just haul him up onto her shoulder. Like, this is not working.
But yeah, Echo, why don't you go ahead and give me a medium perception check, please?
Two purple.
2 purple. That's correct. Okay, cool. As you're kind of plotting around the hangar bay, there's large shipping containers in here too. Like, imagine modern shipping containers. There's several of those inside of here. And you hear Echo, you hear very faintly, boop, boop, boop. And you see, kind of like in the gap between 2 shipping containers, you see a red light blinking.
Shit.
Boop, boop.
Would Echo have any idea of what this would be?
It's pretty clear this is an explosive.
All right. Then I am going to basically like grab the leg of Voke and start like pulling and then just take off running.
Okay. Yeah, I mean she notices it too, and she starts boogieing as well. And it
I will pull out the comm link and say, explosives, cargo.
Detonation inside the cargo bay. I mean, you're fine, other than mostly like ringing ears. And
Managed
there's
to get into
Oh
cover.
yeah, that'd be rough on Echo.
Yeah, that'd be real rough.
Baby.
That'd be real rough on Echo. But other than some ringing ears, you're more or less okay. Maybe a little singed fur. But there is a detonation, and everyone can feel the detonation as the ship rocks somewhat.
Thrown about in the corridors.
But the hangar bay is starting to be locked down as well.
Is there that really, really, really good sounding Star Wars alarm?
Yeah, the moan, whatever.
I love that one.
Yeah, it's an excellent.
So she just blew up the cargo. I look forward to see the little stun setting. I'm just gonna take that over just for two.
Ow! It's oof and ouch are the two settings.
I'm turning my blaster from stun to kill.
Yep.
Remember, we're still in the ship.
Yeah. Echo definitely has the holdout at this point and is sort of just scanning the area for anybody that looks like they're up to something.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and give me. This would be a hard perception check, so 3 purples.
All right. Ooh. Okay, that's weird.
Dang. 3 success or 3 failures, 4 advantage. You don't see anyone. There were a few other people in the cargo bay, and everyone's kind of like freaking out. The first priority whenever there's a fire on board is to put the fire out, and that's what people are doing right now. People are rushing to put the fire out, and that's creating a lot of noise and chaos. So it's very hard to focus in and see if anyone's like, that person looks suspicious when there's fire. But you do hear from behind, you hear a very heavy like thump 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 thump, like someone running in boots, and it's getting quieter, and it's coming from behind you back towards the rest of the ship.
All right. Do I know the general direction that path would lead to?
It can either lead to the hangar bay or to the escape pods. Those are 2 of the most likely destinations. Yes. Duncan.
Have the escape pods been locked down like we asked Voak to?
They're still being worked on, getting them locked down. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Echo is going to start chasing the sound of the footsteps.
Okay. As you come around a corner, you see Miria. You see her. She's about like 5'10". She's a pretty stocky woman. She has very short, kind of reddish brown hair. And you see her, she has a hatch open, and she turns and she sees you. And she holds up a blaster pistol and points it towards Echo, and says, "You best be leaving me alone, Bat. This is not something you want to get mixed up in." She's like paused above this open hatch.
Is this a escape pod or?
No, this is just a hatch to like get into the vents.
Okay. Echo is just sort of standing there. He's got the holdout blaster in his hand, but he's not going to lift it.
Good. That's what I thought. And she climbs down in the hatch, shuts it behind her.
I'll pull out my comm link and say she's in the ventilation.
And then that's when you hear Echo. You hear the heavy like thump, 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 and Valk comes up from behind you.
Yeah, I will point to the hatch she went through.
Do you think you can fit in there, little one?
Yeah, but she's gonna shoot me.
Sometimes the hunt is dangerous. And she looks at you very expectantly, Echo.
Get in there.
The little ears are just gonna droop. And he just walks over. He lifts the hatch. And he looks back.
Which is more scary, the tunnel with the lady with a gun or the Wookiee?
Yeah, exactly. And he's very much calculating that before he starts to follow.
Be brave, little one. And
I mean, alternative wise, obviously, if you don't want to engage her directly, you could just follow her and try and figure out where she's going to get out, and then alert everyone else.
And
that sneaky.
And I will definitely be. I'll call over the comm link to the group and say that I'm following to see where she goes.
Okay. So I'll get to you in a moment, Aaron. Echo, I need you to go ahead and make me... You can make me a survival check here, or a streetwise check, but you can use your intellect characteristic to build the roll.
Huh.
Oh, okay.
Because you're tracking someone, but you're in a bunch of vents in a ship you're very familiar with. So,
Alternatively, you could just give boost dice for the int stuff.
Yeah. This is fun, though. I like doing stuff like this.
Difficulty? What was it?
Difficulty, I'm going to say it'll be medium. And you can take a boost. I'll go ahead and throw you a boosty, too.
All right.
Don't give the bat the drugs.
Oh. Dang. So you you can hear her crawling. You know, she's not quiet. She's crawling through the vents. And it's kind of like echoing all around.
Oh, the poor ears.
It's echoing all around Echo. As he follows. But you think you hear it go down one way, and so you go down that way, and it just ends in it just terminates. Like, I mean, the vent goes like straight up, and you're like, oh, I can't climb that.
And double back to the last. Yeah,
you've lost her. You
right.
Don't know where she went. Man, that was a real stinker of some proficiency die there, or some ability dice there.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not nice.
That's a bummer.
That's mean.
That was rough. So Echo's just sort of wandering the ventilation, waiting for backup.
Okay, go ahead and give me a knowledge education check. See if you can find a good way out of here, or find some backup. That would be medium. Yeah. How much can I learn my way through this?
Yeah. 2 difficulty.
2 difficulty. That's correct. Okay.
Better.
All right. So you pick your way through some of the vents, and you find yourself above the mechanic shop, Grease's mechanic shop, and you hear a blaster bolt go off.
Oh no!
And you hear a door open, and then a door close. And you find yourself in a vent above the mechanic shop. That's what I meant to say.
I'm gonna peek out and look around.
You see Grease is laying wounded on one of their many piles of junk in the mechanic's shop. They're clutching their arm, and green is kind of oozing between their very thin fingers. They do not look too good.
I'm gonna pull out the comm link for Vrel and say Grease has been shot in the engineering department.
I'm on my way, assuming that I'm in on this.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way to exclude someone purposefully from the comm system?
No. It's just kind of like a channel based.
Yeah, if anyone's in on that channel, they can tap into it.
Got it.
Like, we'd have to have, if we wanted specifically for our group, it would have to be like an encrypted channel, which you can get, like, stuff.
Yeah, you can get encrypted.
Mm-hmm. Encrypted comms and stuff.
Got it.
I imagine we're currently actually probably on the security comm channel, which would be great if we weren't also, hunting a member of security.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. If all the security forces we're assuming are like issued their comm links, then potentially they would have the registry number for it and they could like cut it out or something. But apparently, I guess if they're more similar to just like fancy radios from space.
That's Star Wars tech. It's kind of retro.
So I look at Exel. What is your full role on the ship?
Crewman.
Yeah.
General crewman, and also I can shoot things.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. I guess I kind of look to you like sort of like a what do you want to do kind of look. I'm like, because Echo, you said that she's in the vents, or no, she's in engineering.
Yes.
She was in the vents. Grease has been shot.
Yeah,
so presumably
Grease has been
she
shot.
left through engineering and is somewhere in the ship again.
Mm-hmm.
Where is engineering in relative to where we are? Kind of general.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask that.
Yeah, the CIC is a couple decks up from mechanics, from the machine shop, which is where Grease was. So it's like the CIC's on the top deck, kind of in the middle of the ship, and the machine shop is on the bottom deck, kind of near the stern of the ship.
Got it.
We're at the escape pods.
Yeah.
And you guys are at the escape pods, which are near the CIC.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So there's only 2 escape pods?
There's only 2 escape pods. They can fit 20 people each. They're more like lifeboats as opposed to escape pods.
Okay.
If that makes more sense.
I'm gonna talk to. I'd like to get on the comm with Volk and be like, Volk, any status on locking down the escape pods?
We're still working on it.
Would the captain be on this channel?
Yeah, the captain is on all channels always. He's the captain.
Oh, okay. All right. Does he hear that and kind of does he?
He says on the comms that she's done something to lock him out, and that he's working on it.
Got it.
But the hangar but you do receive a report that the hangar has been locked down.
Got it. So these are the only places that she can escape from my knowledge of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How many people does it require to pilot an escape pod?
Just one. It takes one person to pilot an escape pod.
You two. Take these back and don't come back until I tell you. Before I do that,
make them use the escape pods. That's hilarious.
Before I do that, is the fire contained? Because I don't want us to actually have to use them after I've sent Brad and Chad here off to take them. Sorry, Brad and Chad.
Yeah.
Chad.
It sounds like a Monster Factory character.
Yeah, it's like Jom's older brother, Chad.
Okay. So you can't you can reset the escape pods or the lifeboats once they've been launched. But that's like a difficult process. And these things aren't like starfighters either. They're not exactly to be piloted. You are basically just shot out in the void, and they have very limiting piloting. But pilot's the loose word. It's like, I don't know. They're hard to describe.
Is there a part of them I could take?
To prevent them from
to
launching?
prevent them from launching. I know this is really risky. I don't like
Yeah.
sacrificing our ability to get off the ship, but is there like like something I can do to circumvent your circumvention of my lockdown?
I see. Yes. The counter lockdown. Um,
Good God.
yeah. Go ahead, Aaron. You can go ahead and give me a hard mechanics check. Let's see if you can't just like figure out a way to.
Could I call Echo instead of say
Yeah.
you know
You could
how
call Echo, and we could do what's called a skilled assist here.
Phone a friend.
Yeah, which is basically since Aaron, you're the one physically doing the check,
yeah.
and Echo would be kind of coaching you over the phone or over the comm link. You can use Echo's proficiency dice, and then it's yellows, and then build it off of your intelligence characteristic.
Got it.
So, how many ranks?
I have 2 ranks of mechanics.
Okay.
How far away is Echo from me? Like from us though? Could he just eat?
It
2
would
floor
take,
dales, 2 floors down.
yeah, it would take a little while to get here, and it sounds like what you're trying to do is pretty urgent.
Yeah, I could start heading that direction, but yeah.
All right. So do you have 2 pips in mechanics?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, so your roll will be yellow, and then 3 purples.
Got it.
Nice.
Take 2 strain as you
My
pull
strain!
you pull back like a panel to like just yoink out some wires, and when you let go of the panel, it like snaps onto one of your fingers. Yeah, it's the worst possible pain imaginable.
And I want to stress, like, as I'm doing this, I want it to be a way that I can put it back quickly if there's an emergency. Like, I'm not, all right, time to carefully decommission it.
Yeah. Okay.
Blue wire.
Whoa.
Yeah, in that case, like you could very quickly like disconnect the whole panel so that it just needs to be like all the wires need to be hooked back up. It's not destroyed, it's just decommissioned, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
I mean, that's all I can do without like seriously endangering the crew, I feel like. So
Yeah. Okay, cool. So that is taken care of. The escape pods are now locked down. And that's when you hear some footsteps coming around the corner, Aaron and Exul. And there you see Miria. She walks around the corner, blaster pistol held in one hand, and a small cylinder with a big red button on the other hand. And she looks at all of you and says, "Oh, now, Aaron, that wasn't very kind of you, now was it? Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna be a good boy, and you're going to put that panel back on for me. Otherwise, I'm going to press this button, and I'll see you in hell."
What is I want to see if she's bluffing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make you can do a discipline versus.
Can we do this together at all?
What do you mean?
Like, can Exel help, or can Exel also look like?
Yeah, we can do a combined roll on this. So, Exel, what's your willpower?
My willpower is 3.
Okay, do you have any ranks in vigilance or discipline?
No ranks, no.
Aaron, do you have any ranks in discipline or vigilance? Okay, so your roll is going to be your difficulty dice for this roll is going to be it's going to be 2 reds and 2 setbacks. for this Exel. You can go ahead and roll since you have the higher of the two stats.
You might want to spend a light side point.
Yeah, you can spend a light side token on
Two reds
this.
is scary.
Yeah,
that was
2 reds and 2 setbacks.
And would Echo be able to be closing the distance and potentially sneaking up behind her?
You could make me a... You're a little too far away. We'll come back to that in a moment.
All right.
all right. What's the roll then with the light side used?
It would be yellow, green, green. You upgrade one of your greens to a yellow.
Oh, nice. Ooh. Yeah.
Also,
and then 2 purples and 2 reds.
once, obviously focus on the scene at hand, but relative position and whatever's going on with Vrel and the captain.
Yeah.
Because I've gotten a little lost as to where we are in all this.
Oh, man. A good roll.
Yay! No despairs.
Yeah, no despairs.
I don't know how.
Yeah. So
Luck.
you
Good luck.
Yeah, I mean that's a good roll. You know that there's like a 60% chance that she's bluffing on this. Like you're not 100% sure whether or not she is full like committed to blowing up everyone just to spite everyone if she can't get away. The scorched earth tactic.
Mm-hmm.
But she is definitely she's still holding it and she's brandishing it like she's ready to use it too, which is making this pretty difficult. But you're like, you get the gut feeling that she won't do it if you won't have to.
Yeah, I will like very quietly whisper to Aaron of 60-40 about she's bluffing.
Don't say never tell me the odds. Don't say never tell me the odds. Don't say never tell me the odds. All right.
Never tell me the odds.
I scream, never tell me the odds, and I shoot her. No, I'm like... So for a second, I mean, I am not in a placating gesture here. I'm ready at a minute's notice to try and, she can't push a button if her arm is shot off by lasers. But I will say, like, look, just put that down. I could, even if I set back up this escape pod for you, we'll shoot it out of space as soon as you leave. You know that.
Well,
there's nowhere for you. There's nowhere for you to go. But if you let us go with you, you might be able to survive.
You want to come with me?
You want me to come with you? Do you really think they won't just shoot me too?
I mean,
to get a traitor. I haven't been on this ship. Hell, you've been on this ship longer than I have.
Now that is an interesting proposition. I'll tell you what. There are 2 frigates owned by my friends currently en route to the location right here. You let me go, and she holds out the detonator that she's holding, and she puts it down on the ground.
Okay.
And she says, "Now, there are 2 frigates owned by some very powerful friends of mine currently en route to your location. If you let me go, I'll make sure that they are diverted somewhere else."
To be fair, the thing that she held, am I aware of it? Is it a detonator?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it a bomb itself?
It is a detonator. It's not a bomb itself.
So, if I shot it, would it blow up the bomb? That doesn't make any sense for me. And
Yeah, it's not a dead man switch. Like she wasn't holding down the button. So her thumb was off the button. retrospectively, I probably should have made it a dead man switch, but it's too late now.
I was really worried it was going to be, but she was under a lot of stress. She didn't have time to set that up.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to set up.
The button is backwards.
Yeah. Exactly. And so, well, and now
I'm like. So I wanted to say, like, kick it on over, and we'll talk.
She walks forward. She's medium range. We'll just say that she's medium range from you.
I said kick it on over.
Yeah, exactly. And she walks up to where she set it down, and she kicks it, and it kind of skitters and lands between the two of you.
All right. I look at Exel. Exel, from like how are you feeling, man? I am about to try and shoot her. I just want to kill her. I don't care. I don't believe she has friends. I don't believe of anything. I want her to die. Really want her to die.
The aggression.
This is so intense.
Would you do you want her to die? Like, I'm kind of making that like eye contact, like we've been working together for a whole like 3 hours, really feeling it.
Don't think you can convey that with a glance. I think you should act on what you think is right for your character.
Yeah, act on what you think is right, but also remember that he reminded you earlier when you switched from stun to kill on your gun that he reminded you we're still in the ship.
Yeah, but I do have questions about that because like I've watched Star Wars, and a lot of the times the blasters didn't like blow up the walls of the ship.
There's no risk of a hull breach.
Yeah, we're not in engineering anymore, which was like there was all that engine thing that we were dealing with, where we go into engineering, we're like, well, we killed the problem and most of the engines, so we don't have to worry about that. I think I can just kill her. I guess there's no stun. Would stun make it less likely for me to be able to defeat her?
No, the only drawback that your stun setting has is that it reduces the range to short.
You're already at short range right now, aren't you?
Or a medium.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. In that case, I would like to. Let's see what he would do. She threw it. He doesn't believe her. She could still possibly get it. Yeah. Blam blam.
And before we do that, that is where we're going to end today's episode of Legitimate Enterprises. All right, cool. So we'll start next session with this fight and see where it goes. So everyone, for great detective work, please gain. I'll toss you another 10 experience. So, congrats. Yeah, so if we'd like to go around one more time and introduce ourselves, and if you have a further presence on the internet, where can people find you if they want to see more of you? So let's start with Aaron. Who are you? What are you doing here? We already asked this, but I'm still confused.
No, sometimes it's good to re-ask the older question. My name is Duncan. I'm very sick. I don't really have another presence on the internet. Next person, please.
Yeah, let's go to Necro. Who are you, and where can the people find more of you?
I'm Necro. I go usually by Necromatador on Tumblr and Twitter is where you can usually find me. I draw and also post dumb things all the time.
That's the internet in a nutshell. Is dumb things everywhere.
Pretty much.
I've never encountered a dumb thing on the internet personally. But...
Insight check.
All right, JL, who are you, and where can people find more of you?
I am JL Holloway. I go by Hall Hideaway on mostly Twitter and Twitch, where I'm a dungeon master and a writer.
Excellent. And Calcifer, who are you, and where can the good people of the internet, find more of you?
I'm Kelsey. I go by Calcifer Rising on Twitter and some other social medias that I don't usually use very much. I draw sometimes, but other than that, I'm not really that significant.
And I am Lazybones here at Lazybones TV, and you can find me here, Lazybones TV, on Twitter, because I finally got that brand of Unity, yo.
Nice.
And then I am sometimes playing D&D over on twitch.tv/dammitberry, where I play a very dumb sword boy. So yeah, come
sword boy.
Come check that out. We play every other Friday, and we're doing Ghosts of Saltmarsh. So yeah, all right. I hope to see everyone next week. This has been Legitimate Enterprises. We are signing off, and I will see you around the galaxy.